guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a worth the buy or nah primer review on a very new primer that I've been so intrigued. And this is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better Primer, oil-free. It's supposed to be a makeup gripping base and pore refiner and hydrator for all day grip. You guys know that I've been really into primers this year. I feel like they completely changed the game. Whether you use primer or not, primer works. I'm excited to put this one to the test, and this one is also supposed to be an oil-free makeup gripping base that hydrates your skin while extending the wear of your makeup. This skin transforming primer works to refine the look of pores with continued use, helps to deliver a more even feel to your skin surface for a smooth application. Looking at the ingredients just to make sure there's nothing that may cause some irritation, and right now the main ingredients look pretty good for me, so that's a plus. So this is what the bottle looks like. You can purchase this in Sephora and also I think maybe Ulta. I'm looking at the Sephora app right now because that's where they have it. This does retail for $39, so it's not a cheap primer. You guys know that I'm a huge fan of IT Cosmetics, so I'm always like ready to try their new products. So it comes in this type of packaging, which is, I think, great. This is like the best packaging when it comes to primers. I feel like just very easy and practical. You don't need anything too crazy. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do right now is I'm going to be only applying the primer to one side of my face. So I'm gonna be applying it on this side. And then on this side, I'm actually not gonna be applying primer because I want you guys to see how it does with a primer and then with no primer. So we're gonna be starting off with this face. I already went ahead and applied moisturizer, sunscreen, all that fun jazz. Ooh, it feels very, very lightweight. It has like a nice gel-like consistency, but when you put it onto the skin, it feels almost like very airy, like very smooth, and like the more I rub it in with my fingers, it feels like just baby skin. I like the fact that it's not thick. Like, you know, with some primers that kind of give you that really like smoothing effect, but then they feel like really thick and it feels like there's like a layer of something on your skin. This is like that gel-like consistency, so it really gives it a very lightweight, almost cloud, non-existent touch on the skin, and it feels good. It's more lightweight than the consistency of my Cover FX gripping primer. This does feel a little bit sticky, but it's because it's a gripping primer, so it's gonna make all the makeup that is on top just stick. I'm gonna take a little tiny bit more, and I'm going to be just targeting it mainly in the areas where I have these enlarged pores. I applied it all over, but mainly here. One thing I'm not the biggest fan of about my Cover FX gripping primer is that it really only targets like gripping the foundation, the products that are on top of the primer onto the face all day long, which makes it long wearing and everything, and I love that. But I wish that it could also target pores. So when I saw IT Cosmetics come out with this one that's a gripping primer, but it's also good for pores and smoothing, I was really excited because one of the main things that I have been looking for is a product that can really combat all the things that I'm looking for in one, so I don't have to go in and use two primers. You guys have seen me use gripping primer on the outer edges of my face, and then I've been using pore minimizing primers on this part, which is great, but sometimes I'm like, okay, I just need one thing that can just do all this stuff so I don't have to go in with these extra steps. So that's another reason why I really wanted to test this out. So I definitely do feel like it concealed some of my pores here. I'm noticing a little bit of a difference. Okay, so today with foundation, we're gonna be using a foundation that I just reviewed. I'm gonna have this video linked up here, and I will also have it linked down below in my description box. But this is Dose of Colors, like I mentioned. I have been testing this baby out, and I'm just gonna be using this foundation on both sides of the face, and I'm going to be just applying the foundation. Really nicely on top of the primer. I'm just kind of patting everything in perfectly into place. It's working really well with the primer. pores are like completely minimized. I can't even see them. So I think what really will define is going to be the wear more so than how it's applying. Because it just really is staying in place. I feel like sometimes with foundations, when you're applying it, it can kind of like not work with you. It can kind of like go in its own direction. I feel like with this primer, I feel like as soon as I place the foundation down, it's staying in that area because of the gripping effect of the IT Cosmetics primer. Foundation finish, because I feel like who doesn't want that? Like, who doesn't want their foundation to last all day long? And I have tried this foundation without this primer, and to be honest, when I did try it, you guys saw in the review, I was kind of like, I don't know. And I was using primers that I enjoy. Like, it wasn't like I was using something that I didn't enjoy. But at first, with this foundation, I wasn't like completely blown away. But like I mentioned, I feel like primer makes a difference, because right now I'm like, whoa, this looks good. So I went ahead and used one pump of that, and you guys can see that the foundation is laying very pretty on the skin. It looks very nice. Pores are minimized. The foundation looks fresh, but it still looks like it has this very pretty like hold. And I also feel like it looks like it just is sitting very nicely on the skin. Let me see if it's still sticky. It is sticky, but the foundation is also naturally sticky. Now I'm gonna go in with the foundation on the side that I'm not wearing primer. I just feel like on this side, it doesn't look as pretty as on the side where we have the primer. I feel like also primer kind of adds pigment to your face and to the foundation. So like it makes things look more pigmented. And I just feel like on this side, my face just looks a little dull almost. Like it doesn't have like pretty glow in it. Like, I just feel like I have a harder time blending it out into the skin. I feel like the main difference will really show once I wear this for a long day. Okay, so we have the foundation on both sides. This is the side with no primer, and this is the side with primer. Put the brush away, foundation to the side, and then this primer. How much? It has 1 standard ounce, so that's good. It has like standard product, $39, perfect. And it also is supposed to be a good hydrator. So this is another good thing, especially for those people that are looking for a good gripping primer, but that's not like a matte gripping primer. Because I know that with some people, like that can definitely affect. Also, it can break apart and it can't look, and it doesn't look as good as some other products. And that's one of the things that I feel like a lot of people liked about the Milk gripping primer, is that it was a good hydrating primer, even though it was gripping, as opposed to the CoverFX one. It was a little bit more of that just normal type of finish, where for people that have really dry skin, it could be an issue. So this is hydrating, but I feel like it's hydrating where it works for people that also have oily skin, combo skin, normal skin. It just works for everybody, I feel like. I really like how it looks on this side. It has like this really pretty like radiance from within, but it also has like this really pretty like smoothing effect, as opposed to this side. I just feel like I have foundation on top of my skin. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'm gonna come back and give you guys my very first thoughts on the primer and how it's setting. I know that right now I've only had it on for a limited amount of time, but me applying my makeup and everything, seeing how everything kind of goes together will really help me determine what direction we're headed for the rest of the day for this wear test. Okay guys, so I am back right now. It is 8:53 a.m. in the morning. Let's go ahead and talk about everything. So this is the side where we went in with a primer. I definitely feel like this side, everything just laid so beautifully. Like for example, I went in with a blush and I feel like it just has this perfect, fully nice pigmented aspect to it. I feel like this side I had to build a lot for me to get it to like look a little bit more just blushy. Another thing that I noticed also is that when I went in with highlight, I'm actually wearing Champagne Pop. I went in with this side first and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a beautiful glow. Then I went in with this side where I'm not wearing primer and I feel like I had to build it up. Like it was just looking really dull and sheer. This side, I feel like my skin has more life to it. I don't know if it's because this primer is also hydrating and because the primer offers those abilities to like make the skin look that much better. I just feel like I truthfully do notice a difference between both sides. I will have all the details of this makeup listed down below in my description box in case you guys are wondering. You guys can go ahead and take a look at that down below. But other than that, I think this is a good scenario for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and see you guys later. I will do some check-ins through the day because I want you guys to kind of see the progression of it instead of just seeing it at the very end of the day. I think starting off at this time is perfect because we really get a long wear. Now, I do have to say this doesn't say anything about how many hours it wears. You know, with some products it'll say 12-hour wear, 8-hour wear, 24-hour wear. This doesn't claim anything like that, which I kind of appreciate because then I'm not going in with like these extreme expectations of like, okay, you said 12 hours, so it better still look flawless by the 12th hour. Now that we got everything out of the way, first impressions and all that, I'm gonna go ahead and carry on with the rest of my day, and I will be seeing you guys throughout the day, and then you need to stay tuned. Hey guys, so I am back right now. It is 6 p.m. at night, and I wanted to show you guys how we are looking. So you guys can see this is the side where we have the primer, and this is the side where we do not have the primer. I definitely feel like the side where we do not have the primer, the skin looks a lot more dewy, especially in this area right here. I feel like in the area where we do have the primer on, the skin looks a lot more controlled when it comes to oil. Now, I do have to say, I did notice that there's some areas where the product kind of transferred off. So I'm kind of like, because I love IT Cosmetics products and I like the fact that everything looks nice and oil free, but it's a gripping primer, so I'm expecting everything to stay in place. Whenever I wear my Cover FX primer and that one's gripping, everything is stuck on the face. But I mean, it definitely does look a lot better than having no primer. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy the rest of my evening, and then I'm gonna come back and give you guys my final thoughts. Hey guys, so I am back right now. It is 8:38 p.m. and I have some well-developed thoughts on the new IT Cosmetics primer. So I do have to say that by the end of the day, it did get dewy. The last time I saw you guys was during my check-in at like 6 p.m. and we were looking definitely more oil-free, but I think now by the end of the day, we definitely have some oils that are peeking through. I also noticed that I feel like this side doesn't look too far off from the side where we're not wearing primer. But what I am noticing right now is that the side where we aren't wearing primer, it's creasing. The side where we do have the primer on, it's not creasing. I feel like it's a decent primer, but it's not like, oh my God, life-changing. Start off with the good things. So the good things are that definitely stayed oil-free for a good portion of the day, I have to say. Also throughout the day, I noticed that this side just kind of looked more like filtered and just flawless. This side looked kind of just like I was wearing a layer of foundation. Now that I like went through the day and I got oily by the end of the day, it definitely like sunk into my skin, but it took a long time for the side where I don't have primer on to look skin-like. This looks skin-like immediately. So I really appreciate the fact that it was oil-free for a good part of the day, that it was also looking like skin for most part of the day. I also really like the fact that it was like a nice poreless primer, but I feel like for the gripping aspect, I would have to say not so much, just because like I'm mentioning right here, it removed. And my Cover FX gripping primer does not do that. So I would have to say for me, this would probably be a 7.5 out of 10, just because there are things that I do like about it, but then that gripping aspect, I feel like it's not as gripping as I had hoped for, because I guess I have high expectations with the Cover FX one, because you guys know this one is like my holy grail for when I want my makeup to like stick on. So I just feel like because it advertises like makeup gripping base, I really was expecting it to like really keep everything locked into place. Do I think it's worth like the $38 or so? No, I feel like it could be a little bit less, because I feel like that gripping part aspect wasn't there for me fully, but I think everything else worked pretty well. But like I mentioned, you guys saw how it looked through the day, but I just think that it's a little bit overpriced for like what I would expect. So yeah, those are all my thoughts. If you've tried this new IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better primer, let me know your thoughts. I really would love to see what you guys think down below in the comment section. It's always fun to get your opinions on products that you like or don't like that I've tested out. So let me know what you think of this primer. I'm really curious about the Fenty Beauty Mattifying Primer, so I think I'm going to review that one next. So stay tuned for that video. I'm hoping to get it this week because I know that I think they're coming in store on Thursday. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to get my hands on it this week and have a review for you guys very soon. So if you did enjoy watching this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing these types of videos for you guys. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new to my channel. I would love for you to join our family because we are just growing and growing, and it makes me so, so happy. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you never miss my videos, because why would you? And that being said, I love you guys so much, and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye, guys.